Are you dinging?
1, 2, 3.
Okay, say 1, 2, 3.
2, 3.
This is Jefferson Starship.
And you're watching Coachella Valley Music Show.
Coachella, 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 Coachella. In the valley. My home away from home. In the valley. In the valley. In the valley.
Welcome to the Coachella Valley Music Show. We're coming to you live from the Fantasy Springs Resort and Casino. Today I have Deanna Bogart, award-winning saxophone player, incredible pianist, songwriter, teacher, and guitar player, singer, backup vocalist. And I think I saw you riding a camel playing the saxophone.
You did. I did. I think to date that's going to be a hard entrance to Trump. That was I was on it was called Blues on the Nile tour, and we're out there at the pyramids. It was amazing. It was a life-changing tour for me, and they wanted me to start with my horn, and there was a desert, and there was a camel, and when in Cairo, so. We put me on a camel, and I actually came in wireless at looking at the pyramids, riding to the stage. It was very surreal. I kept trying to tell myself that this is not Epcot. These are real.
It's amazing.
It was wonderful. It's incredible.
What a great show.
How are you? Thank you for having me on the show.
I'm good. So I was looking over some of your performances. You have huge audiences, and you're doing a lot of festivals. What was your favorite festival that you've done?
I'm just so happy that I'm still getting them and working and doing what I do and getting gigs. You know, it's not always easy for everybody, and I feel very lucky. You know, let me think. They all have their unique thing, and there's some that I maybe had a better time or I like better, but I love the traveling part. I love
what about the
being out of the country in the country.
Boogie Woogie Festival?
Well, I came up with a real kind of an intuitive love and somewhat of an understanding of Boogie Woogie. I listened to a lot of that and studied it, you know, from the 1800s on up.
Okay.
So it's something that I love, and I you know, research a lot of the history about it, as I do about everything musical.
Okay.
And the 30s and 40s probably are some of my favorite era of music.
So is that where you came about for the one that had the acoustic piano and?
Yeah, you know, there's a couple. There's not many, but there's a scene of international boogie woogie festivals all over the world and in the country.
International boogie woogie.
There is. Sylvain Zing does one in Switzerland, and there's one in England and one in Spain, and there's a couple here. And it's wonderful. And I did one up in San Francisco, the San Francisco International Boogie Woogie Festival last November. I got my truth, got my words, yeah, going on, going on. Aging youth, judge and jury, I'm going home, going home. Now I don't know what's in store, but like love was ashore, the world will still refrain. In the rain, in the rain, in the rain. I'm going home, going home. Where they bring 5 pianists from all over the world, from here and from wherever, and same they over there.
And you're one of them.
Yeah, I've been able to. I've been asked to be on a couple of them, and I love it. I miss my band, but it's kind of cool to sit at a big baby grand piano or a grand piano and play old Pete Johnson Death Ray Boogie or an original Boogie Woogie or composition or something like that. And then there's a lot of 4-handed, 6-handed, 8-handed. A lot of things grow out of that in the improvisational
Play like
sense.
you have 8 hands.
Uh-oh. That might mean I'm playing too much.
No, you're not, though. You are all over the place. You're the most exciting piano player I've ever seen.
Wow, thank
Yeah.
you. I try to censor myself to make sure, you know, once I started playing the horn, I realized, much like singing, that's where every note has to count, and the space between the notes and the not notes are just as important, because you have to breathe and you have to phrase. And with an instrument like the piano, you know, I sort of say, I don't want to make sure I don't have diarrhea of the fingers, because you can play it, but you still have to have every note have meaning and every space between the notes have
Well, I've
meaning,
seen you
so.
3 times now.
So sometimes I have to edit myself.
And you guys break it down, and you know, there's a lot of ebbs and flows in your music. You know, there's a lot of beat, and there's a lot of beautiful musicality.
I like dynamics. I like the contrast, the power that dynamics brings. And we're very improvisational. I'm very improvisational, probably because I have a really bad memory. But I do believe that each performance or each gig should be unique to that place and the people that are there that night. You know, sort of a creative conversation. I like things. It's live music. It shouldn't be the same. So I like that.
You're able to get across to the audience and to the musicians what you want, even though you're keeping it
Kind of
alive. They don't miss what it is you're trying to get across to them. Do you have a special magic that you use to do that? Because
there's, you know, band leading, there's not usually a whole lot of like workshops on band leading. And when you go back in history and you watch, you know, Dinah Washington and Count Basie and things, magic happens when you can be improvisational, when something happens and you can roll with it. But there does have to be somebody that can communicate that to everybody in sort of a intuitive, trusting kind of a way, and not be afraid to let it go where it goes. You know what I mean?
well, your signals are very clear.
I'm sort of
and
like
you
an air
make
traffic
sure-
controller at the worst.
Yes, you are. They get you.
Sorry, guys.
You know, nobody is confused over what it is you're trying to do on the stage. And I saw you start out an original.
At the same time, if somebody on stage is going somewhere because they just got a wild hair or they just went to their place, to me it's Dianna land. They're going to whatever their land is. I'm all about it. I feel like I have the best seat in the house, and now we're going to arrange it accordingly and see where it goes. I sort of feel like the brass ring for me, because I'm genre free. I love all music. There's only 12 notes that serve the song, and if you're lucky, you get to sound like yourself. You know?
How many albums have you done? 11?
Under my name is 11. And then I do session work and other folks if I'm asked, which I love to do.
What's your favorite album? Do you have a favorite album
Of
that
mine?
you've done? Yes.
Of my album children?
Children.
Of
No,
my
those
album-
are your
They're
children.
kind of my children.
Wait,
I mean,
no,
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 Alex
I
is
know.
my, the love of my life, my daughter.
Timing.
Timing is everything was an important record for me to write. It came, it was sort of the divorce record. It was sort of the pain record of losing a lot of immediate family members in an odd period of time, young and old. And it was also the first time that I let myself be free enough to not edit anything what I was writing. So I wrote everything and arranged everything on that, even the open spaces. And it was just sort of an empowering freedom latch that I hadn't sprung yet that needed to be done.
This is the one that seems to be out on the internet the most. Just a
That's
Wish
the most
Away.
recent one.
Is this a positive thinking CD? Just a Wish
Well,
Away?
you know, I'm sort of a bedrock optimist. I'm an optimistic realist.
Okay.
So everything that I write tends to have just that wisp of the window open that things can change and be better or be different, or how exciting that is. Yeah, I don't wallow musically. I have to go deep and write some of the sad songs because that's how I recycle the pain, you know.
Okay.
But even those are optimistic. You just need to kind of let it out and go somewhere else.
I saw you do an original at Woody's called Maybe I Won't.
You're saving pretty easy. Nothing lost and nothing gained. While all of my days just swirl around. Keeping the window open. But do we think enough the same? Sometimes we do, and then we don't. So maybe I'll call you, and maybe I won't.
That was the first song written for Just a Wish Away, and I had written that one during the time I was moving out here to almost 2.5 years ago.
From?
Baltimore. And most of my family was on the West Coast, but I wanted my daughter to be a certain age. I didn't want her to get interrupted in her school. I didn't want her and her father and that family to have to be at a distance. I was raised that way. I didn't want that for her. So I stayed. And right as I was moving, I wrote Maybe I Won't, and moved out to the hacienda up on 74 that I was so. It had a piano in it when I moved in. I'm like, there's a piano here? And I had an offer to make a record down in New Orleans. That doesn't usually happen. You know, a record deal kind of falls in your lap these days. And so I sat at the piano the first week I was living here, kind of scared to death, all on my own, and looking out the window. That was the backyard.
Let's get rid of
It's my backyard when I lived up there on my driveway, Highway 74.
Oh, that was Highway 74.
That was Highway
All right.
74.
And it's quite the view.
And I wrote the rest of the record up there, looking out at the scenery and out at the whole Coachella Valley, and wrote the blueprints of the tunes. I pretty much write in the studio. I sort of need to be pushed into a creative corner of psychotic, unrealistic deadlines to write. Even
Pressure.
though I'm
Pressure.
writing right now, I write all the time. But the joke with my guys in the band are like, you know, how do you get Deanna to write a record? You book studio
Push
time.
record.
You book studio time. And it's true, because you have to dig deep, and I won't let anything go that's okay. Either it's yeah or no.
So is that why you ended up with so many awards?
I don't know. You know, you don't. At some point, when we're young, I mean, you know, you're younger than I am. Almost everybody's younger than I am these days. And when you're younger, you think, oh, if I don't make it by the time I'm 25, or I'm 30, or I'm 32, or I'm 30, you know, then what am I doing? And I remember I got to the point where, is that the case, or do I just want to be the best musician I can be and just keep going with this, and the best writer, and learn more. I want to write a concerto. There's all kinds of things I want to do. And I'm doing some vocal charts. I love background harmonies and vocal arrangements and horn arrangements. And
you give back. You teach as well. You've taught children.
I like to mentor kids. I just did some stuff in St. John for 3 days and got them ready to open up the festival, the St. John Blues Bash Festival, a couple weeks ago. And I loved it. I'm going to send some stuff down to them. And same with the festival in Boquete, Panama, which I'm kind of a co-producer of. And I like that. And in the country, sometimes I'll be the guest soloist with the high school jazz bands, or be a artist at large, I like it. You know, I've been doing this for a long time, so I think everybody should fly. Everybody should fly, but you have to fly smart. And there's things that I didn't do that I try to pass along to anybody that wants to listen. Because it's wonderful.
You picked up. You basically became a musician in your 20s and ended up being extremely good. A person would assume that you've been playing since you were 2.
Right.
By the way you play.
I was the new kid in school, the not hot new girl, very often, and most of my school years, a divorce brat. And I could grab my guitar and play songs, and that helped me, be rooted in myself enough to be the new girl all the time. And there was always a Baldwin baby grand piano in the house that I have now, but it's back east. I haven't been able to bring it out here yet. So I used music to both get me in and out of trouble and saved me when I hit the road. And when I was 21, I got an offer to join a band called Cowboy Jazz on Render Records.
Better be on your way, I get along, little doggies. You trot them on down the old fairway.
And they were touring. They were an amazing band, 3 men, 3 women. I describe it as sort of the Andrews Sisters meets Bob Wells at the Grateful Dead show, because it was also a jam band. And some of them have gone on to do very, 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 very well. And we are still in touch, which is great. But it was really about harmony, and I could sing harmony, and that's why they hired me. And I knew 3 chords on the piano in reposition, like you and I were talking about earlier.
Right.
And that's where it started. That's where it started.
From there.
And the awards, because I know you asked me that, it's never a motivation, but it sure is fun. And when I was 11 in one of my schools, they asked if I wanted to be in the band and what I wanted to play, and I said, yeah, tenor saxophone, and no one knew why, including me. And they said, girls don't play the saxophone. I actually heard that. And I knew they were wrong, but you're 11, all you can say is, no, it doesn't even make sense. And I went home, and it was sort of validated that way, and when I was 26, I thought, what am I waiting for? I'm playing a kazoo when I'm not playing the piano, because I obviously want to do this. And my daughter's dad said, go get a saxophone. I said, that's the craziest thing ever. I'm 25 years old. And I did. So the second time I won at the Blues Music Awards at the Convention Center in Memphis, it was very cool, because I could say, as an adult, this is great. This is wonderful. Thank you guys. But I can't even begin to tell you how that feels for the 11-year-old in here. That was almost thwarted. And I think one of the reasons I work so much with kids is I know that one statement like that can thwart somebody for most of their life, all of their life, part of their life. Yep. And I don't want to see that ever happen to anybody, in my watch anyway.
Well, I saw you at Fisherman's Grotto playing, and you said you had just gotten back from, where had you gotten back from?
That was the St. John.
From the St. John
trip. Yeah, I'm in town now. This is the longest I've been home since I've moved here 2.5 years ago. And I don't leave till mid-May. And then I have 3 weeks on the East Coast.
Nice.
And you sat in with me at the Grotto the other night. Ching, ching, ching.
You know this one, huh, Deanna, Calista? You want to do it? Calista Carradine. Part of the band.
wants her in a titty bar, Bill. If she wants to fight with me, all she's got to do is come down to the club and start some shit, and we'll be in a fight.
Michael Madsen, and you're not. You're watching the Coachella Valley music show.
I've seen you play guitar. I mean, no, I haven't seen you play guitar. And you brought your guitar. Would you play a little guitar for me so I will have seen everything? I've seen you play sax and piano and sing and do backups and play originals, but I haven't seen you play guitar.
Well, that's where it started.
Okay.
It was easier to take to parties when you're the new girl.
Yep. That's
Okay.
Steamroller, baby, roll all over you. This brings me back to when I was 16 doing Delta Dawn.
Oh,
Stuff
yeah.
like that. I don't know. I'm not a guitar player. Just because one plays chords and strums does not make one a guitar player. Much respect, all you guitar players and badass players that I get to play with all the time. On all coasts. Let's see, this is a song of mine on Timing is Everything called Slip Away. I'll just do a little bit of it.
Slip Away?
Yeah, that was during the time of when I was writing that record, when there was a lot of loss in the family for about 2 years. And it came out in this record a year or two after that. You got to give it some time and distance so you can sort of have the philosophy of it instead of just the big stream of ow, the tractor beam of ow. I will see you in the twilight. I will feel you in the night. I will see you in the shadows. I will greet you in the light. I will love you. I will love you and let you slip away, slip away. I will be meeting you in the forest. I will want you by the sea. I will be you on the mountain. I will bring you endlessly. And I will love you. I will love you. Let you slip away. I hear your voice inside my head, remembering the things you said. Memories I would not trade, and I would rather you had stayed. Oh, that's in the right key. I will listen to the raindrops. I will whisper to the stream. I'll still crazy when the pain stops, and I'll cling to you in a dream. And I will love you. I will love you. And you slip away, slip away. I will love you. I will love you. Let you slip away, slip away. That's all I got.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
I like
Change, change, change. I hope we get to sing some more together.
it. That would be really nice. That would be great. I tried to get you to come play. I have a show coming up.
And I'm out of town.
You're out
I
of
heard
town on
that.
that, but maybe
That's on
the
the
next
22nd?
one. 29th. They switched it
29th?
to the 29th.
I get back
Are you free on the 29th?
I get back the 5th of June.
Okay, yeah.
But you'll have more.
Yeah, yeah.
And I would love to if you need me for something.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. It was
That'd
nice to
be
meet your mom.
smoking hot. Yeah, yeah.
Mama was cool.
He videoed her singing that song with you, sort of.
Wasn't it yesterday when
Was small.
Sunrise.
sunrise, sunset, Sunrise, sunset, one season following another.
That was a first.
Yeah.
That was fun. But we had the rabbi in the audience, so it was perfect. It was perfect. It was great. It was a really nice day. I appreciated you guys coming out.
We liked it.
And if I miss this gig of yours, I'll come hear your next one.
Yeah, if you know, at the very least, you get to come up and play a tune. You know, we just kick a keyboard player off the stage. You know,
So I could, come up with my horn
there's that too. Yeah.
or whatever you want or don't want. I'll just be out there,
Well, I would like to
supporting
did
and
all
yelling
of
and
it.
screaming and going, woo!
I said she's a one-man band. I mean, you have if I had her, I wouldn't need anything else except drums. That's it. You cover everything else.
Well, sometimes those duo gigs come along. This can be kind of
And
fun.
I actually today's my 1-year anniversary of my first kiss with my boyfriend, and for Valentine's Day I bought him
This right here?
djembe, so he could play djembe,
a hell
and you
of a
could play
kiss.
all the other instruments. So
I just like that this is the anniversary of your first kiss.
yeah.
Have you guys reenacted it yet today?
No, because the stars have to be out to do that.
Gotcha. So it's not till tonight.
Yeah, that's right.
Where were you?
Sky Valley.
Just hanging out? Was it a date?
I was coming home from rock climbing, coming to see him from rock climbing. We'd been spending some time together, and I wasn't sure if I really wanted to let it go anywhere or not. I was fighting it. I'd been fighting it for years, actually.
I understand. I kind of.
But that night I forgot to fight. So
I guess when it's right, you don't have to fight.
I grabbed him and started kissing him as if it was something I did all the time, and in the middle of it went, "We're kissing!"
When it's that comfortable, if it feels like you've been doing it for 40 years, or 30 years, or 10 years.
Because he was in the friend zone, so.
Is there a better place to start?
No, probably not.
That's cool. And now you're new friends of mine.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
So
I like that.
can I
He's
send
grinning
out
out there.
Can I send out a website?
Please.
For you?
Thank you.
What website?
DiannaBogart.com.
DiannaBogart.com. We'll write that on the screen.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I love living here. I'm so happy to live here. I've wanted to live here for a really, really, really long time. And it had to be the right time. And it just, like you're saying, not quite as fun as a kiss in Sky Valley, but it feels right, and your whole body just kind of goes, yeah.
When are you going to play in town again?
I love my new adopted hometown.
What's your next gig in Coachella Valley?
I'm going to do, I do experimental Wednesdays at Woody's when I'm not on the road, and that's exactly what it is. It's experimental Wednesdays, and I love it. It's very open, very free. A lot of people come and sit in. There'll be more. I don't know where, but there'll be more. The website, though, it usually is up to date.
I look forward to seeing you play again.
I look forward to seeing you again, hanging out.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.